So I want to talk about why a lot of people struggle with feeling ready when it comes to putting out the creative work into the world. I feel that a lot of creative people have a lot of good things to share, but they come across roadblocks when it actually comes to putting out their work out into the world. And a very common reason that we would use really goes something like we do not currently have the competency for our work to be good enough for it to be released out into the world. I think the conversation oftentimes revolve around feeling like our work is not good enough, it's a rough draft, there are still many things that need to be fixed or updated or made better. And I would argue that, around the topic of competency, it's not even about that. Like, sure, we're not, or most of us are not some, experienced grandmaster who just puts out masterpieces, right? Because that takes years or probably decades of, trial and error, experience, and putting work out there, and getting critiques, getting feedback, getting praises, and just everything along the spectrum. Like, sure, we're probably not that type of master, but honestly, we don't need to be one in order to put our work out there. This applies to everything, right? This applies if you're a writer. You don't need to be a master to know how to write and articulate your thoughts into text form, right? Into an article. A photographer. You don't need to be some experienced like DSLR user, whatever. Like nowadays, smartphones and even cameras make it super easy for a beginner. And it's not like you have to be a master to know what kind of pictures you like to take, right? You like what you like. So taking photos of things that you like does not require you to be a master with the camera. Musicians and music producers, you guys have probably already spent hours messing around with instruments, learning how to use programs, making tracks. You don't need to follow the famous 10,000 hour rule to put up decent music, to put up music that you like. A vlogger like myself. It's not hard for me to hit the record button. It's not hard for me to go buy some basic recording equipment. And I would say I'm not that good at speaking, and I'm also pretty awkward. But as someone who used to write out scripts before I would give Comcast a call, back when I was younger, like when I was a kid, true story, when I was about 12, I would literally write out an entire script of questions that I want to ask, the representative. And then I would also write out potential answers that they would give me. And then to those potential answers that they would give me, I would write out the answers that I would give them back, because I was that afraid of speaking on the spot, right? Speaking to a live human, asking questions in real time. So literally, my life was scripted in a very theoretical, like hypothetical type of way. So this is the true story, just to give you a perspective or a point of reference as to where I was and where I am now. Obviously, I'm not a grandmaster, but I think mainly it just boils down to one point, and that is fear. The fear of our work not being good enough, right? The fear of feeling like we're not good enough, the fear of being judged, and the fear that our work is not perfect. And sure, like there might be haters who, either secretly or openly write negative things, right? Or say negative things. But I would argue that there might even be more of those people who would be supporting and encouraging, what you're doing. And even if there's not, haters are probably just hating because on a deep level, they know that you were able to do something and put something out there that they wouldn't dare dream of doing. And I think that we have to realize that the recurring conversation around perfection and being ready isn't really something that's realistic, and it's just ultimately something that holds us back. You will never deliver that perfect speech. You will never write that perfect blog article. You will never make that perfect track. There will always be something to improve on or change. And I will never make a perfect YouTube video. And as a matter of fact, if I was aiming and wanting and being attached to making a perfect video, I would not have a single video on YouTube right now. So I believe that the more and more we get comfortable with putting our work out there, letting the world see it, maybe we'll realize that being ready and perfect is just finding peace in the imperfect. So get out of your own way and let's get it.